From now on, my full-time job is finding a guy who's going to take care of me.
Just kidding. They can vote for whoever they want. Politics is just something created to keep people entertained.
It's not. But it does.
Hello. I'm back. I'm back with messy boots over here. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know in the comments. Thank you. Okay, good. Yeah. Me and messy boots over here are on our way to wine tasting. Oh, thank you. She said I have one of the most beautiful teeth they've ever seen. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, we're going wine tasting, guys. It's actually, it went down. Originally from home it said 50 minutes. She said, Coco, I found the lady. Her name is Bonnie J. Newman. Are you sure?
We knew that.
I googled that. That's what came up, but I don't know if that's the person though. Because we don't know a Bonnie, you know? She's from Massachusetts. Hi.
We need an address.
The address is on there.
Oh.
But the thing is that it gives like different numbers that associates with that number. And other people's names that associate with that number, basically. But I need you guys to do a little bit more digging. Who's Bonnie? I just got here. I don't know. We don't know who that is. No, I don't think it's a new stalker. I think it's the same. I don't even know the person's a stalker. I just think the person is just someone who, you know, is upset at our union. See what I did there? Our union. Yeah, I think the person is just upset for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason is. The person is just not happy that he chose to date me and engage me and marry me and, you know, make me his wife. So yeah.
Jealous.
Yeah, they're jealous for whatever reason, I guess. So they wanted to, you know, and I know the person is on my Instagram because I posted that video that I posted yesterday about like people always ask me what do me and my 56-year-old husband have in common. I posted that on my TikTok and nothing. It was like, it went 24 hours, no like messages or anything, like no one, anything. And then as soon as I posted it yesterday on Instagram, that's when the person decided to then text. So I have a feeling I know who it is. He doesn't want to agree that it's that person, but especially, I'm not gonna say anything, but I have a feeling that's who it is, just because, you know, she was always clocking why, you know, we're eating caviar. She's always clocking your money. Why? How do you know that?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, there you go. You just want to give it the benefit of the doubt, yeah. But like, let's look at the yes. broader picture, right? Yeah. She's always clocking.
How many fans on Instagram do you have?
How many fans?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
How many people are on Instagram?
On my Instagram?
Yeah.
She was asking about how many people I have on Instagram?
Yeah. No, I'm asking you.
Oh, I have 14,000.
Oh, okay.
Well, how would they get your number?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's my point.
Right. So it's
Someone that you know.
that
Like,
knows the number.
all 14,000 people. This person is still driving like a fucking maniac. What is going on? Excuse my French. I think they're old.
It's a different car.
Oh.
It's another maniac.
No, because yeah, I have a lot of followers, but like, how would some girl in London that doesn't know your first name, doesn't know your last name, how would they be able to find your number? Now, if they know your first name, they know your last name, yeah, they can Google you and they can get your number, right?
Yeah.
But if I've never shared that information with anyone online that I follow, right? I called you Bae, my fiance. You know, they've tried to find Mike Walkiewicz, whatever his name was. They tried to find that guy, but that wasn't him. So whoever this person is, you don't want to agree to it. It's someone you know, and you don't know that many people. And this person's always clocking why you're spending money on this, or you know, what are you doing with this, because I feel as though, because you know, her significant other doesn't have it. So I have a high feeling that that's it. And you know, with that Googling that number, quite honestly, it's been confirmed.
Moving on.
He was never married. He doesn't have an ex-wife. The thing about America is everything is public, but yes, that's true. But how would you Google someone that you don't know their name, is what I'm saying. You guys, if you guys wanted, you could Google my name, because you know my first name, you know my last name. Yeah, you can Google and probably pay and get information like my personal phone number, my old address, because you actually know my information. I've never given out that information, number one, of his. Number two, he doesn't have any social media with his name on it, right? Number three, not even Facebook, not Instagram, nothing, right? So how would this person be able to get his number unless it's someone that he knows? You know, like I might not have been a college graduate, but I'm also smart enough to put two and two together and use my brains, okay? Like, I can't drive by this guy right here in a van and be like, or this woman, and be like, oh, I can figure out her number. How would I do that? I don't know her name. I don't know where she lives. I don't know what she does for work. I don't know nothing about her, you know? So there's no way for me to find her information. So, you know, even your girlfriends, my girlfriends know his name, but they don't know his last name. They know his first name. They don't know his last name. Was it a professional number she used? No, I don't know, guys. Obviously, it was a Google number. I called the number. It said the Google number subscriber that you've called is not available right now. Or no, it was like the Google subscriber is not available right now. Say your name or something like that. You know how when you use a Google number, the person has to say their name before it transfers to the real phone number? So you can get a Google number, and when you call the number, it goes to your number. That's what that person used. They used the Google number. Someone said some girls are very crazy. Maybe his head looked familiar to them, so that's how they found it. She said you're a Scorpio, so trust your intuition. I do. He doesn't like to hear. He doesn't want to hear this, but I don't be hiding nothing. And I'm gonna tell you why. From the get-go, I always kind of had this weird feeling about it, because like if I was to go out with if I was to go out with my girl Bianca, right, and her man was popping bottles, like, you know, $2,000 bottles, buying champagne, drinking, I would not wake up the next day and be like to my man, like, oh, why was Bianca's boyfriend popping bottles and champagne like that? It cost this much money. Why was he doing that? I wouldn't do that, because it's not my man and it's not my money. You know, I only focus on my man's pockets. So we went to dinner one time with said person. This is when my intuition really started. And then, you know, the next day, whatever, it was brought back to me that she was questioning why my man ordered me caviar. Clock it. And I was like, that's a weird freaking question to be asking. Like, it's not your money. Why are you worried about it? What countryside the richest man? I don't know. Have you ever had any luck at the Hermes store in London? No, I've only gone to the London store once. We're going wine tasting, guys. I've only been to the London store once, and I just kind of shop for clothes. She said, oh, so you know the person too? Yes, and the person follows me on Instagram too. That's how I know that. Beijing has the highest number of billionaires. Ooh, that's good to know. Switzerland also. It's a dress. It's a Zimmermann dress. She's on being messy. I am messy. Oh, yeah. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, he was like, you know, you mess with my family. I was like, oh, I was out yesterday. I was celebrating my friend's birthday. Her birthday was yesterday. So I went out, and that's, you know, that's when he got the message, and so he sent it to me like right away. I will say that's the one thing I respect and really appreciate about my man over here. Don't get emotional. Don't get emotional. You know, because he doesn't hear me say nice things about him all the time. I will say one thing I do love and respect is that when he gets those sort of like messages, he immediately will like send them to me. So he immediately called me and was like, hey, I got this text message, and I was like, send it to me. He didn't respond to anything. He sent it to me. I read it. I was like, I just blocked the number. And then I texted it like, ha ha, you mad? I'm over. I'm funny. I'm like, ha ha, I'm his wife. You mad? You mad? You big mad. Anyways, and then he sent me what he texted her back, or I'm gonna assume it's a her. I don't think a man would be this freaking slow. He texted her back and was like, you know, you mess with my family, karma's gonna get you. I was like, oh. I was ready to go home after that. I was like, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. Where'd you grow up? I grew up in, I was born in Cameroon. Came to America when I was 10. Lived in Georgia for like 3 years. Went to middle school there. Then came to Mass. And I grew up in Acton, Mass. And then came to Boston for college. And then I didn't graduate because after 2 years ago, I was tired. And I hated school. So I was like, yeah, let me find a different option. And I did. Am I gonna get a Cartier wedding band? I don't know. I'm morally focused on where we're gonna get his band from, but you're a man of not too much, so you're probably gonna get one of those rubber band ones, like the black ones.
At Walmart.
Walmart. That's something you would do. How's it really a girl? When I tell you, I took the test. I failed. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I took the test the first time. I failed it. Not terribly though. But I did fail. And I think a lot of the reason why I failed is because like I felt the questions were easy and I felt I knew the answers to the questions. but at the same time, like the way they made the questions, it was confusing. So you're very confident in your answer, but it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So like they made it really confusing, and then they will have like two answers that are kind of the same. So it's like you have to really, really like know, like, you know. So I failed it because I think it was just a lot of like answers that were very similar, and it's like I'm sitting there like, okay, it could be A, but it also could be B, and then I just go with what I think is right. She said, that's okay, try again. Yes, I'm not discouraged about it. I'm definitely gonna try again, gonna study again, now that I'm very aware of like the questions and how they word the questions and stuff like that. The school that I went to take the class, they host study groups, so I'm gonna try to join one of the study groups and go and like, you know. Thank you guys, thank you. He's not actually gonna get it from Walmart. Well, he might, who knows. He said no, I'm kidding. Thank you. Are you actually gonna wear it though? You don't like jewelry.
You don't buy me?
Not, I did. I bought you that bracelet.
I wear it every day. So
oh, you didn't go and take it out of the
I
trunk.
took it out because I didn't want to wreck it.
Yeah. So anyways, with all that being said, happy Saturday. Do not let anyone come between you and your significant other. You know, if you trust your man and you guys can talk it out, and you know, there's always going to be a hater or two, he said. We haven't gotten him a wedding band yet. I just asked him if he was going to actually wear it because he doesn't like jewelry. So he's not like a super, you know, so I was just like, when we get him a band, is he actually gonna like keep it on? And I don't think that him not wearing it means he's going to be like being unfaithful or anything. I was just asking because, you know, he doesn't like to wear jewelry like that. Oh, thank you. So now you're thinking kids later, girl. Can we get to the honeymoon first?
Yeah, let's get to step 5,000 first, and then we'll go to step 5,500.
Can we get to the honeymoon? Like, I have at least one little disagreement in our marriage before we have kids.
I thought when you get married, you don't argue anymore.
That's not what people say. People say when you get married, the sex stops.
No.
The sex stops. The
money stops.
The arguing gets more.
The food stops.
The woman stops cooking. I'm just kidding. Well, that's what people say. They say it only gets worse.
People only talk about the bad situations. They don't talk about, oh, it was so fantastic. So that's why it seems like that's what they say.
Yeah.
It's the only thing they have to talk about when something's fucked up. Messed up. Sorry.
He's a Massachusetts man, born and raised. They're saying your accent is so Bostonian, so deep. He said, yeah. Off topic, but do you recommend freestyling at 18 in Boston? I wouldn't really. No, because you really can't be in these establishments and drinking at 18. You're not of age to go out to these places unless you go there and sit there and get juice and food. You that's it.
Not to mention if the guy serves you drinks and gets in trouble, he's gonna lose his job.
Yeah. So I wouldn't really say. I honestly, like, I get it that some of you guys are 18, you want to get you a guy with money and stuff like that. I say, like, as 18, I would go on Bumble, I would go on Tinder. Like, your goal at 18 shouldn't be Hermes bags and, like, just enjoy being 18. You know, if you happen to meet a guy that's like 40 something or late 30s that is capable of helping you with like little gifts and stuff like that, then yeah. But like, you know, you're still so young that I wouldn't just put myself out there like that. Like me, when I was 18, I lucked up because that's when I met my first sugar daddy, and like his goal wasn't to take advantage of me. His goal was to really help me because he really saw that I was like a really young, you know, I don't know if I've ever told this story to you guys, but I think I have. But like, obviously how we met, it was supposed to be like an exchange for something. But like when I showed up and I had a fro, I had just cut my hair and just started my natural hair journey. So I showed up, I must have looked like a baby. And I showed up, and I kid you not, this man looked at me and he was like, you know, I don't really want to do that with you. He gave me the $500. He gave me the little $500 and was like, how about we just talk? And so I just started talking to him, and, you know, he started giving me advice, and then he just became like my sugar daddy after that, you know. And eventually, obviously, me being young, I fell for him, like, you know, fell in love or whatever, and I was like, yes, come, let's do this. But like, his goal wasn't to take advantage of me. His goal was to truly help me, and he was giving me money, not like thousands of dollars, but like he would help me with my rent and he helped me get my first car, that type of stuff. Like, that's who you need to find when you're 18. Someone who is going to tell you about like, and also kind of show you how to navigate with older men, because they are going to be older guys that will take advantage of you as well, you know. So I don't know.
80%.
How to turn a client into an SD. Just become really personable with them, become really friendly with them. In the industry, a lot of women are very they're very robotic, which is because a lot of them, they don't really have attraction or any a lot of women in the industry actually are not attracted to older men. They really just do it for the sake of making money, right? So they're very robotic about it, and it's like, come in, give me my money, bam, 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 gotta go, right? And from my experience, a lot of men that are doing that are not really looking for intimacy. I think the intimacy that they are paying for is a person to talk to, someone to like spend time with, someone that they can really be themselves around without, like, you know, like maybe at work they're too busy running the office, like they can't really express what's going, you know, and then at home, maybe the wife or the girlfriend or whoever, they have kids, so it's like you're like that safe space for them. And if you actually realize that that's what these men are coming for, you would realize you would make so much more money, and you can get so much more money without doing any sort of work. I mean, obviously you probably will still be sleeping with them, but like they will be able to give you money outside of that. That is the real goal. So what I would suggest is be more personable with them. And a lot of girls in the industry frown upon messaging a guy first or emailing a guy first to check on him. Every previous sugar daddy that I had that I met through client, I always made it a point to message them maybe like maybe like 2 weeks or like a month if I hadn't seen them, to say, hey, obviously I assess the situation by talking to them, seeing if, you know, they're married, if they can text, if, you know, they can if their wife is checking their phone, they'll kind of let you know always. So if you know that it's a situation where you can reach out and it won't cause any problems at home, I absolutely would always encourage, like, after 2 weeks or 3 weeks after seeing him, just shoot a little text like, hey, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to check in on you and make sure that you're doing okay. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, And even that's a quick way to make him come back, because number one, he might not have been thinking about you. He might not have been thinking like, oh, I want to go pay her for right? He might have just been busy with work, whatever. And as soon as he sees that text message from you, he goes, oh, shoot, I forgot about her. Are you available on Sunday? I have that time. Maybe I can come and see you. Boom, you just secured yourself another book. You know what I'm saying? And when you also do that, it kind of shows them that, like, oh, okay, she's not just about give me my money and go. She actually is a caring person. And when a man thinks that you care about him outside of that exchange, then they care about you as well. And when they care about you, they look at you as a friend, not a sex worker. And then they spend money on you. You know what I'm saying? And I know that this is a really weird thing for people to fathom, why men would look at a woman that says she was a sex worker or whatever and be like, oh, she's still just a woman. Men have been paying for SWs since before our parents were born. Like, even before, no shade, no tea, babe. You're just older. Even before my man's parents were born, you know what I'm saying? So men don't look at, unless they're just broke, I'll tell you this, wealthy men don't actually care about that stuff, like, in the real world. Like,
It's normal.
he said it's normal. Right, thank you. Yeah, he's here. Doesn't it make him less likely to spend on you though? No. My experience, when a man likes you, he spends more money. I'll give you guys an example. Birkin Daddy in California. TMI, babe, sorry. Birkin Daddy in California started off as a 1 hour booking. Clock it. He started off as a 1 hour booking. Holy Grail Daddy that booked me to come to Turks and Caicos, he didn't reach out to me the second time around. Girl, I knows how. Okay, I closed mouths don't get fed. Okay, I went to Turks and Caicos, got my 30 grand, had it in my bank account, came back. I was in Boston for like some time. I realized, oh, okay, he was done with his little, he does it every year, his trip to Turks and Caicos. And I knew he was back in New York, and I was going to New York with my, I was going to New York with some friends. Or I went to New York by myself, I'm not sure, but I was going to New York, and I was like, you know something, let me text him. So I texted him, and I said, hey, I'm going to be in New York next week, and, maybe you can take me shopping. Literally, that's literally what I wrote. And this man responded, and I was like, oh, of course, yes, I'll be here for da-da-da-da-da, and I'm flying to Milan on this day, so yeah, maybe on Thursday we can grab lunch and do a little shopping, and oh, I have a gift for you. Now, I don't think he really bought that gift for me, that Louis Vuitton alligator bag. I don't know if he really bought that bag for me. He had it, and I just kind of threw a little thing, and he caught it, and suddenly he was like, oh, and I have a bag for you here. And when I went, it wasn't because he invited me to New York, it's because I simply said I was coming to New York, take me shopping. And what did I do? Went to New York and got my shopping. And when I was in New York, he was talking about Italy, that I was like, oh, I've never been to Italy, maybe you can take me to Italy. Of course. See what I mean? When a man likes you, he's gonna spend more. It's not that they come in thinking that they're gonna spend that much money, because they don't really know you. But once they really do know you, they spend more, you know? She said the girls were shaking over that bag, right? That's the bag that got me exposed. He's 36. He probably does not have the money. I ended up not going to Italy, actually. No, I went to Italy. I didn't go to Italy with him. He told me to keep the money, which was like $60K. And he paid for the flight, he paid for the hotel, Eden Rock in Rome. That was all him. He paid for it. And he couldn't go, and he was like, keep the money, go on the trip. And I was like, okay, period. I was like, Tattoo Daddy, you want to go to Italy? You want to go to Italy? He was like, yeah. So we ended up taking advantage of the trip. We went to Italy together. So it was a great experience, if you ask me. And girl, where did you find these men? The one that I was just talking about, he found me online. I just took advantage of the opportunity that was handed to me. My husband here, I need to stop calling you my fiance, you're my husband. My husband here found me in person. Right?
Yep. Stalked you.
He stalked me?
Kidding.
I know. We're online, Twitter. But you gotta advertise like as a hoe. So I wouldn't say go on there if you're not, trying to be. That's so amazing. Some men are so generous. Yeah. Because he had the money to be that generous. You know what I mean?
It's not a lot of money to some people.
Yeah.
30 grand to someone is 30 grand, but to another person it's like $3,000.
Right. To some people it's $30.
Right, or $3.
Yeah.
To some people it's $3 million.
Yeah. $30 could change someone's life right now, and $30 someone would literally go and spend it on, well,
use it for firewood. Secrets to start a marriage off right. Counseling. Cooking dinners together.
Spending time together, planning date nights, loving on each other, spending time together, respecting each other, finding a man that makes money.
Doing hobbies together.
Yes.
Cooking for your man every other day.
Yeah, he goes with his sarcastic ass jokes. Knowing that he loves to cook for me.
Back rubs every 2 days.
Does your husband have any tips on women like us seeking generous men like him?
Maybe.
Do you?
I don't know. My buddy Dale, he's single again. He just got divorced. He's got money.
He just got divorced. Let him have a little moment before.
Oh, it's been 6 months.
Oh. Someone said, "What's up, Dale?"
That's his stage name.
Oh, yeah. He found you, so do they pursue us out? Yeah, if you're out at the right places and you look beautiful and a man is attracted to you, yeah. I fumbled this one, but this was 2 years ago at Grill 23. This is like when I just started going to Grill, like, you know, like, oh, let me go to Grill 23 and just have lunch. I had gone shopping, and then I sat down at a bar, and I think I've told you guys this story before. This guy was sitting next to me. I literally didn't say anything to this old man. He was probably like late 60s. He was talking to somebody, whether his son or a business or someone that works for him or something like that. But they were sitting for like they were sitting there for 3 hours, eating, drinking, and I was sitting there as well. I came and I met them there. And this man got up on his way out, went into his pockets, didn't say anything to me other than handed me his card and said, let's grab a drink sometime. And when I Googled him, he was worth $9.6 million. So it's just being at the right place at the right time. You know, I obviously fumbled that bag because I lost a card and I didn't text the guy and email the guy till like 2 weeks later. So he probably had already forgotten or moved on. I should have texted him right then and there if I had taken the time to Google him right then and there, but I didn't. So it's just about being at the right place at the right time and looking beautiful. You don't have to be like, you can chit chat with men. I always say, like, you can start a conversation with a guy next to you, but sometimes they will just find you. They will look at you and go, wow, I like her. You know? I don't know what this man wanted. I don't think he was looking to marry me, but I might have been able to get me a nice little something out of him. You know what I mean? But, you know, everything happens for a reason. I never got to experience that. But here I am today. Guys, if you're not in Boston or whatever the case might be, some man from Boston is not gonna fly you from London. He's not gonna fly you from Seattle. Okay, to have a relationship with them. Like, if you're in London, you can find somebody in London. And I understand why girlies from London be asking me. London seems to be like a place where it's easy to find a European man to spend money on you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to name drop people, but like, y'all's faves on TikToks are black women. So whatever it is that they're doing, you should do it. And I promise you, it's probably not for any further from what I'm doing. Okay?
It's the venue.
It's just about you, where you're going. And you are also probably not, you know, y'all go out one time and not meet somebody and thank God, like, why haven't I met somebody? And you're also sitting at home.
It takes 15 times minimum.
You're sitting at home and envying women that are actually out there doing the work. You know? So I know. And love Curez. Love him down. You know, I love his content. And like, if he can do it, y'all can do it too. Like, and he says it himself as a man, as a gay man. It's a lot harder for him, you know, because of how their community is, which is like just free sex, grinder. You know what I mean? But he has found a way to secure the bags. So if you're a woman and you're in London and you're not secure in the bag, that's kind of a you problem, because you know, I usually do things online. Well, online dating is great, but you're also limiting yourself to just a group of guys. If you want to date and maximize everything that you have, then you have to do online dating as well, and you also have to do freestyling and going out and networking so that you meet different people, because there are some really busy, successful men that don't have the patience to be on Bumble. You know? Like, if I was just on Bumble Hinge, I would never run into my man because he's too busy to be on Bumble. Right?
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be random. It's the whole gamut. You can spread your advertisement everywhere, and it takes time and effort, and it's not overnight. It might take 27 times, and then on the 28th time, you're gonna find someone.
exactly. Are there sex work? Yes, there are sex work websites. Subscribe to my website because I can't name drop them on here. If you want to go that route, I have them on my website, and I even have how to use them. You know, I ain't no pimp, but I like to give people information so they don't end up putting themselves in a situation where, you know. So my advice for women in the industry, I give all the tips on how to be clean, how to vet, how to screen, all of this stuff. We made it to the winery. They said not a pimp, but teacher. Period.
Did your flowers that you like?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Anyways, guys, we made it to the winery, so I'm going to get off and to go spend time with my family. We're celebrating my sister's husband's birthday today. That's why we are going wine tasting and just enjoying the day. So, love you guys. I will see you guys soon.